Well, welcome back to another session. I hope you're well. I am. In today's session, I would like to speak to the topic of how to get things done in your life, or how to achieve your goals and your dreams. Today's session, or the inspiration for today's topic, came to me as part of a conversation I was having with a younger man in the gym earlier, and we talked about several things. One of the things during our conversation that occurred to me was when I asked him the question, what was he training for? And he responded, I don't know. And I thought perhaps I should use that as a session for today, with the perspective of perhaps trying to share some of the ways through which you can achieve success, achieve your dreams, achieve your goals, and sustain, and perhaps this is perhaps the most important part, sustain the motivation, the dedication, the commitment, and endure the sacrifices that will be needed to achieve your goals. At the core of all of that is the word reasons. Reasons, or your why, makes the difference in the outcomes in our lives, in your life and in my life. One of the things we're not encouraged to consider, we're told to have dreams, we're told to have a vision, we're told to have a vision board and make a list of all of the goals and dreams we have, but seldom the people encourage us or instruct us to have a list of reasons for wanting such goals. You see, your reasons, or your why, is where the fuel for your passion comes from. It's also where the endurance comes from. A goal is simply a vision you have for the future. Between where you are presently and that goal are obstacles. One of the things that stops young people, young men, from achieving their goals is simply because they do not have enough fuel to get them through each obstacle. We struggle with knowing how to get around, over, under, besides, or through the obstacle. The fuel for that endeavor is called reasons. Your why, that obsession you have, that burning obsession, and identifying what those reasons are and documenting the reasons. Now, many people have several ways of encouraging themselves to aspire to something greater than they are. I will share my three, and you can chop and change and modify these as you believe is necessary for your specific circumstances. Now, the first is family. One of the most important driving forces for achievement, for sacrifice, for commitment towards a dream is family. Recognizing what it would mean to your family, but also, more importantly, how it would transform the lives of your family members. It pains me to say that those who were born in the West have been born into what I call a genetic lottery. You've been born into luxury on a world basis. You've won the genetic lottery, and unfortunately, the desire for success, the commitment, the passion to rise up from the ashes is not the same as someone who was born in a poor village in India or in a poor town in East Africa. People generally use their family as a strong reason to sacrifice themselves to ensure that the lineage following them do not suffer like they did. So the motivating factor for many people is family, because we want to create the right level of education, provide the right resources, create the right environment, so that our family lead and live a better life. The second is our community. Most people, we are not meant to be islands. We have a family, but we're part of an extended family. We're part of a local network we call community. And for some people, it's the passion to help a community. It could be a community of people of shared values. It could be a community of people from the same geography. It could also be a community that is intellectual, or that shares a similar belief system, faith-based community. And so we look to the community as a motivation for striving to achieve a better life, believing that if we succeed, we can provide support financially, morally, locally, intellectually, emotionally. We can provide support to those in need. For some people who have a calling that is faith-based, it could be a calling to sow the seed of your faith to the wider world. And so you see the world as a community. And for you to get to that position, you need to attain a certain level of success or improvement. The third, and in my opinion, the most important, from the perspective of keeping you in that race, is self. Now, it has a way of feeling wrong. Now, we've been conditioned for so many years, in the West particularly, but even going back to the ancient times, you read through the books of antiquities, and we've always been told, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But there's been an emphasis on taking out yourself and your ego from the driving position and to place other people in that position. And that self should be limited, or should be limited. I beg to differ, especially for young men. One of the most important reasons for your success is not another, is not without, is within yourself. Because the best gifts you can give another person is a happy, intelligent, successful, accomplished, fulfilled, holistic, actualized you. The best gift you can give another is all you have to give. And we make a mistake too often of trying to pour into other people's cups when we are empty. There's a saying, I will take care of myself for your benefit, and if you take care of yourself for my benefit, then we succeed as a group, as a family, and as a community. Self or self-interest, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful reasons for you to do well in your endeavors. And so I'm going to share 3 or 4 subsections of self-motivations or motivating factors for yourself. Let me begin with the first. Between 18 and 35, which is the group I tend to focus on, I encourage young men to be disciplined, to focus on themselves, to dedicate 90% of their time towards their potential, their purpose, their passion, their professional development, their education, their wealth, their human capital. In other words, focus on yourself, and to dedicate about 5% for play. The reason for that is because I believe that the 18-year period is very important for developing into your manhood. Therefore, between 18 and 19, you should have a lot of goals, big dreams. You should have a vision of the future. But what you need are motivating reasons to stay on that path, because it's not so easy to achieve a goal. It's very easy to set and choose a goal. Staying the course year after year is the difficult part. And this is where I go back to the conversation I had with the young man in the gym. He didn't have a reason. He said he didn't know why he came to the gym, but he thought it was the right thing to do. But he also made mention of the fact that he wasn't consistent. That there were times when he would see great improvements, and then for some reason he would be distracted, and for 3 months that he would be absent from the gym until he would return and start all over again. The reason for that is because of the absence of reasons. A compelling purpose, a strong enough why to get him off every day, hopefully at the same time, into the gym, whether it's raining, sunny, or whether there is snow on the driveway. The first part of your self reasons to do well is so that you can have the most sought after things, accessories that life can offer. Cars, homes, jewelries, you name it. That is a powerful reason. You want to drive an Aston Martin, that is a motivating factor that says to you, if you want to drive a car like this, you need to work hard. You need to have something of value to give people, and in exchange, people will compensate you. And with the compensation you receive, you can purchase a car like this. You want to live in a beautiful Georgian townhouse in central London. Again, you can't achieve that by stealing it or by inheriting it, because there's one thing to obtain, it's a different thing to retain. You need the ability to obtain and the capacity to retain what you've acquired. And so a strong, powerful reason that I found in my case was to be able to afford the things my heart desired, and to be able to afford that not just for me, although primarily it was all about me, but to be able to provide that for people I cared about. So the first is so that you could have the most sought after things that life had to offer. Number two is so that you could have the most exciting experiences. Travel, dance, go to the parts of the world that perhaps most people haven't gone to, so you can share memories and share experiences, taste different foods. Now, I was raised very differently to most people. I didn't grow up with luxury, and I did not grow up with means. And so growing up, certainly, I had an appetite that I developed and I cultivated in my imagination about several things. You know, having lobsters, perhaps having a certain type of steak. Now, these were simple things, but by creating in my imagination the feeling of enjoying the finer things that life could offer, although at the present I could not afford those, I was motivated to work just an extra hour longer. I was motivated to train just an extra bit harder. My goal was that if I sowed the seeds, then I could reap the harvest, and with the harvest, I could afford better experiences, certainly for myself, my family, and my loved ones. So two things. Firstly, so you can afford the most sought after things, accessories, items, personal effects, tangible items. Number two, so you could have the most exciting experiences. One is physical, external. The other is primarily a feeling, an emotion. It's within. It's more mental and emotional than physical. Number 3 has to do with something that I think most young men would relate to. Some older men might disagree with. In any case, the third, self-interest. Self-interest reason is so that you can get the hottest, the youngest, the sexiest young women. Hottest, sexiest, youngest chicks. Now, between 18 and 25, 27, most men are motivated by beauty, and in my opinion, rightly so. At that stage in your life, the balance of power is on the woman's side because you have no resources, and a man, you are judged by your ability to provide, your ability to protect. But if you live in the West, the need for protection is less of a necessity for modern men, but the ability to provide is not just necessary, it's mandatory. Therefore, at 18, you have nothing. You've just started your journey of learning. But you want the most attractive women. You're drawn to beauty, you're drawn to youth, you're drawn to women who get you excited, who inspire you and make you creative and make your adrenaline and your ego feel soothed. There is a problem. In today's modern environment, you can't afford such women because there are men who are older than you are, who have had the time to acquire resources. And although you might have the gift of youth and beauty, in today's modern world, women want resources. Therefore, one of the motivating factors for young men should be that if you can stay focused on your dreams, pay the price, work hard, but sometime in the future, you will have enough resources to be able to attract women of all ages and from all classes and even of all ethnicities, because you have not just the wisdom, but you have acquired the ability to translate and transform that wisdom into earning power, and therefore you can provide whatever they need to meet their needs. So the first was so you can acquire accessories. The second was so you can have experiences. Interestingly, most men may not understand this, but the third, which is to acquire and have hot chicks, beautiful women, beautiful wife, most men do not understand that the first two, intrinsically, the reason men pursue such items, we don't do it for ourselves. We do it because it's a signaling device. Now let's just say I have an Instagram account. If I were to post on my Instagram account, maybe every other day, pictures of me in Mayfair, driving an Aston Martin, pictures of me in different parts of the world, drinking the best champagne on a yacht, around beautiful women. Suddenly, I create a picture, a vision, which I'm broadcasting to most women out there, which says he's affluent, he leads and lives a good life, and he's wealthy, and he can afford the fine things in life. Now, I know for a fact that I will have a lot of people contacting me, women, attractive young women, attractive young hot women, attractive young hot sexy women, attractive young sexy hot and young, I said young already, women will contact me directly to say hello. Why? Because women are drawn to men of means, because intrinsically they believe that my outcomes are a reflection of my character, that I have something, an And I've developed a way of taking what I have acquired through learning, working hard, and creating value for other people, and that people recognize that value, and therefore they compensate me accordingly. That is the power of having accessories. Men don't drive Lamborghinis and Ferraris for other men. Quite frankly, one of the best ways to understand our true nature as men is to meet us in a steam room or in a sauna. No jewelry, no accessories, half naked, with a towel, and we are the freest. We've taken away all of the load we wear, just to signal to the market that we're desirable. And if we just sit there and say nothing, we're not talking about our experiences, we're not trying to boast on things we've done or where we've been, that is where we are in our natural state. One with nature, naked and empty. We wear all of the clothes, the accessories, the luxury wristwatches. We take it to the finest restaurants. We buy the cars that we can ill afford as a way of signaling, not to other men, but signaling to attract women. Quite similar to the bird. The bird that has beautiful colors, the male bird that uses his colors to attract women, so people think, but it serves more of an important purpose, which is to keep off predators, or when it feels threatened. Most people, humans, look at the bird and think, oh, it's signaling with its beautiful colors to attract female companions. Not necessarily. Provision, protection. The bird is trying to signal that it's threatened and it will attack. Men, on the other hand, we use accessories and our words to signal to women that we should be chosen. Now, those three, in my opinion, are important. For young men between 18 and 27, certainly between 18, 27, going up to 30, women, and having access to the most attractive, most desirable women is one of the most important motivating factors. Now, I've shared so much today, but it would be remiss of me not to share what I think is my favorite. Still within the self-interest category, which is for what it would make of you and for who you would develop into in pursuit of that dream. And let me say that again, because I think it's very, very important. I encourage young people to set goals and to take on challenges, not for the experience, not for the feeling, not for the accessories you would have, not for the women you would attract, but more importantly, for the person you would develop into whilst you pursue that dream. So in pursuit of the dream, and the person you recognize yourself to have become once you have attained the dream or the goal. We set goals to transform us from who we are presently to our true potential, to who we could become. The progressive realization of that goal is what we call success. Not the destination, a part of the journey, a recognition through introspection that progress has been made, reflection, course correction, and continuing to move forward. So number 4 is to set goals. One of the reasons to stay on the course, stay on course and stay focused on the dream is simply so that you can discover who you could become. Now, someone once said that hell on earth would be to meet the person that you could have been. Those few words is enough motivation and is enough to be used as a reason to strive for a better life, to work hard, to study hard, to labor every day, to apply gratification in all of your endeavors as you pursue your goal. Now, I hope that's been useful.